I'm Polly Tommey. I'm from England. I have a 13-year-old son with autism, so I'm a mother of a child with autism. I'm also editor-in-chief of the Autism File magazine and the founder of the Autism Trust charity.
How did you start doing the magazine?
When my son was 2.5, he was very sick, diagnosed very severe autism, severe behaviour, speech, language, you name it. It was that long, his diagnosis of everything bad. You couldn't get worse than we got. We couldn't get any help for Billy. This is 10 years ago, longer than that now, 11 years ago. And so what we did, my husband's a fitness trainer, and he was training the producer or the director of a big television station in England. And he said, why don't you put your point across on television and maybe you'll get some help. So we thought long and hard, but we thought actually we've got nothing to lose because Billy was just banging his head 24/7, had no idea we were part of his lives, and we were living a pretty miserable existence. So we did this television program, half-hour documentary on what our life was like. We didn't get one offer of help. We got over 150,000 emails, hits and letters, and LWT, who's the station that put it out, their computers crashed overnight. So we knew we had a serious problem. And at this point, I couldn't sit back, and I didn't know what to do about autism, and I couldn't get any help. So the idea was that we put all these letters together into a newsletter, and we send it out to all the people that had contacted us, and we try and get some answers. That was 10, 11 years ago, and that the Autism File has gone from 200 people in England to over 50,000 subscribers, people that read the magazine. So, and it's run still from my bedroom with the help of a few friends. There's nothing smart about us at all. So
it's primarily in UK?
It comes from the UK, but now we have a US editor, Terry Ranga, and she publishes it over here. So she just corrects it and does a few different things that work better for US, Canada. So we have two different issues that go out. We're UK and the rest of the world, and the US Canadian issue. So we're getting big.
Well, that's great. Yeah. So now do you feel like it's UK and the rest of the world with other autism issues as well, or do you notice a difference with how it's treated in the media or how things are portrayed in general over there?
In England?
Yes.
Yeah, well, we have serious problems in England, as you probably know, because of the Dr. Wakefield issue. So there's few of us having to fight a very big battle over there in quite a small country compared to America. It seems to me over here that you join together much more. All of our help we get from over here. But I love the fact that I feel safe that we've joined with America with the Autism File. I feel like we're really going to move forward because there are things that you guys can learn from us, but much more we can learn from you. So it's great that we're all talking. The fact that we've got South Africa involved and many, many other countries means that we're getting these wonderful people all over the world contributing to the magazine so we can all learn. So I'm so excited that we're working together, which is what we should be doing.
Yeah, we all need all of the help and input we can get. Now, with the Autism Trust, now you moved, in addition, you do the Autism Trust.
Yeah, what happened there was 2 years ago, my son Billy goes to a fantastic school. And there's not many fantastic schools for children with autism. And by the way, I was talking about the 2.5 very severe child. He's now described as high functioning. He has autism, but he can read and he can write, and he's quite a clever little boy. We have understanding of language problem, but we have a different child on our hands. So he goes to a very good school for children with high functioning autism. So I went to see the headmistress just for a yearly review, and I just happened to say to her, what happens when Billy leaves the school? So when he's 19, where does he go? And she said, this is the biggest disaster of all. I get these children from 7, and I teach them life skills and skills that they can put back into the society, whether it be horticulture or catering or whatever it is that they do, computer studies. And when they leave here, suited and booted, and she showed me this photograph of them all looking really proud outside the school, ready for work. She said within 6 months, they come back. They say, Stephanie, there's nothing out there for me. Nobody wants us to work for them, or they put us in an environment where we can't cope. She said there's a really serious problem with what happens to people with autism once they get past school age. So I went back home, frightened, and I sent letters to 350 subscribers, just randomly, just picked them. And I asked them what they thought they were going to do with their children when they get to that age. And the letters that came back were horrific. I mean, horrific. There wasn't one positive letter. All of them with awful stories about children being put into institutions, getting no support, living at home with parents that were elderly. So I knew we were sitting on a really serious situation. So that's when I set up the Autism Trust. So it developed futures for people with autism. And that's what I'm working on now. And it's quite a complex model, but it's one we've set it up in the US as well, and Dubai. So we've got 3 models going on: the UK, the US, and Dubai. Because I want us to work together, a bit like the magazine. So if you're setting up Autism Trusts in America and we're setting them up in England, we talk, we help each other. If we have a problem, you might be able to help us, and vice versa.
So what positive plans are you working on? I mean, is this still in the brainstorming section?
No, we're really moving forward. And what we did in the UK recently was, I was getting once I launched this letter thing that went out asking people what they were going to do, and I wrote about it in the magazine, the calls I got back just got more and more intense. And I was getting letters from people saying, "Dear Polly, thank you so much for sorting out my child's future." And I didn't ever say I was going to do that. I don't know how to do that. This is before I set up the trust. So I knew I had to do something because these people were in a desperate situation. I was in a position where I could do something. So once I set up the Autism Trust, I then started ringing.